Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Friday, and let's bring on the money, 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 money. Money. Gotta have that one, of course, man. For Friday. It's obviously time to talk about money. And recent statistics have revealed that as interest rates are continuing to rise, this is crazy, right? South Africans are using as much as 65% of their monthly income to service debt. That is insane. Come on now, that leaves less than half for the day-to-day expenses and savings. So today, in our Money Matters chat, I've got a question for the table about debt and the income-to-debt ratio. It sounds technical, but don't worry, Mzansi. We are here to serve you, and we've got a lovely panel to come in and weigh on this one. So do you know that your debt-to-income ratio is, and do you know how to work it out? That is the first question. Now, if you're wondering what's going on here, here's a formula. Add up all your monthly debt repayments, and then divide that number by your gross monthly income. Then multiply that by the number, multiply that number by 100 and you get your percentage. Simple as that. So here's an example, right? If your total debt in the month is 13,000 Rand and your salary is 20,000 Rand, then your debt-to-income ratio would exactly be 65%.
Which is where you're saying a majority of South Africans are sitting right.
Yeah, and that's a hectic struggle right now, and especially as prices are increasing. So it's recommended that a healthy debt-to-income ratio is actually anything below 36%. We are way off here at the moment.
Yeah.
So what was the first major debt that you ever took out? Firstly, because I think this is already what sets us into motion. Gee, can you remember what that was?
It was a car.
Yeah.
It was a car.
Yeah.
And it was such a proud purchase as well. You know, it was the first thing I'd ever got. I was quite a lot younger than most of my mates who had been bought cars by their folks. So I think that really underpinned why it was such a big thing for me. In relation at that stage with zero responsibilities, you're happy to spend like 90% of your salary on your car
baby,
and the rest on 6x9s and you're on your way, you know, and maybe a subwoofer. But yeah, the car was probably the first, but I was also shooting a lot. I was mobile, I needed it, so it was an asset. So it felt like very much the right kind of
bringing in
kind
the
of
moolah,
thing.
man.
You had
Call
to.
for you?
Also a vehicle. I had to. It was a 5-year lock-in. It scared me.
I was going to say, that's quite
Because the thing
intimidating.
is, like, no one told me about what good debt is. Like, there's good debt and there's bad debt. And I think sometimes you get overwhelmed with bad debt. You forget that there's actually something that could contribute to your profile called good debt. And a car is one of those things. So when I got my little car, my little Golfie, it was fantastic. It was a 5-year lock-in, and it was my first car. And I'm actually driving that car today.
I love that.
It's
Still
like
driving
a
it.
classic.
Yeah, I love it.
Auction that thing off one day, man. Those things are real. Wow.
It's hand me down, hand me down.
Yes, that's
Someone
it.
is getting
There
that
we go.
car. Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. Yeah.
I love the fact that we've taken these endeavors on, and I know a lot of you out there have done the same thing, but when it comes to your relationship with credit cards, because often we find ourselves in this place where 3 years into your 5-year payment plan, you kind of got to make a plan on, like, I don't have enough money to pay this thing off. Maybe I need a credit card to assist me. Has it been helping you in these situations, or has a credit card just kind of left you deeper in the trenches?
COVID threw everything. So obviously we had to lean so much more on the overdrafts and credit facilities and things like that. And I think that's why there's such a pushback within the financial space at the moment on the management of debt and how ethical the relationship is right now, because a lot of people were pushed into that space because of what happened. So it's kind of, I think people have had to learn to silo off certain things. But I can tell you one thing, the first focus area for recovering from debt was the credit cards, because the interest rates are insane.
Oh, it hurts you,
absolutely insane. But by channeling income through that route, my credit score just went phew. So having that credit facility and paying it back has done wonders for my credit profile, but it did put me under extreme pressure. I was literally paying twice as much as my living expenses for those first few months coming out of COVID, which is crazy. It's crazy. And I would imagine, but how many people have been left there below that income line, that kind of baseline, and will never recover that debt?
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing, man.
Indeed, Khalid, I know you've been questing to cut up that credit card. How's that going?
No, I just think quick punch for you is that I was scared of credit cards, but don't be scared of them. If you can manage that rotation of money going in and out over there, it does do well for your profile. So I think don't be afraid of a credit card, but just allow it to give you great financial training.
Yeah, for sure. And I suppose it is that backstop. It is there if you don't have the gap cover. If you there are certain instances where you can have it, just know that it comes with a hefty price.
It does. And I think this is a great conversation and an even better reminder to you. Now, if you don't already know, we are encouraging you right now to sit down with your finances and work out what your debt to income ratio actually is. Are you veering closer to the 60%? Are you well within that 30% range, which is good? Now, work it out on a game plan and get that debt paid off. Oh, it is liberating. Now, the sooner you can clear your debt, the sooner you have more money to save and invest in your beautiful, bright, exciting future.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
90% of South Africans can't afford to retire. Start saving in a NEDBANK Just Invest account. Choose a rate of up to 8.75% and make additional deposits when you have extra money. Join the bank that's best for your savings goals.